Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm happy that you're here with us to do some Giant Jitsu on BJJ Giant. I'm Rusty, this is Joel, and that's Coach Courtney. Today I want to talk about some things that I was afraid of doing and getting into this. We're just larger, this is pretty full contact. Coming from football, for me, I'm running into people, that's expected, they're running into me. But here, when we get into position and we're starting to do things like knee cuts and mount, and you're staying in mount, it's not like a tackle and then you get off, you start to worry about hurting other people. And some of those things are true, and some of those are definitely misconceptions, or they're expected. So, Coach is going to take us through a few of those positions today and really walk through what's actually happening and what we should be afraid of and what we shouldn't.
Yeah, so when Rusty first walked in the door, he was mostly worried about hurting other people. And I'm going to be honest with you, at his size, I had not seen that. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning as well, but then the more we got to working and the more we started rolling with people, and basically me being like, all right, go ahead, put it all on me. And how that felt, if it was dangerous, after just a week, I realized that where a lot of those fears come in, they're not exactly what you really need to worry about. What my main problem was when he first walked in, the thing I was most worried about was other people getting over those fears, and then also him hurting himself, which is, I think, the most important thing. And if you are a larger person, I want you to actually be worried more about hurting yourself than you are about hurting somebody else. So first we have my man Joel here, who is also a brave soul, and I was able to allow Rusty to start doing these things. So I'm going to have Rusty start off in some smaller positions. I don't even need to talk about his technique. I just want to show you that a smaller guy, and Joel's a great athlete, and he does a lot of really good work here on his jiu-jitsu. He's a blue belt, but he is by no means super strong. He isn't a weightlifter or anything of that nature. And he's my age, in his mid-40s. So if Rusty gets on a hard position on Joel where he's putting a lot of weight on him, I just want you to see the human body can take these things. It's not going to be easier for him to move. He's not going to be comfortable, but Rusty's not going to be breaking his ribs. He's not going to be just making him tap from pressure itself. Okay, I just want you to understand. I want you to see it so that you don't have this thought in your mind that I can't do jiu-jitsu because if I lay on top of somebody, I might hurt them. All right? It's a common misconception. So let's go ahead and break it right now. So Joel, if you get on your back, and I'm going to have Rusty. We're going to start at a simpler one and then work our way up. So we're going to start easy with the side control, and just like we did with the around the clock drill, we're going to continue to put more pressure on as we go through. So this is side control. This is where a good amount of pressure comes in, and this is where the first part that you are going to start to think that maybe I need to hold myself back and let myself off of them by bridging up on your own elbows like that, framing up and taking some pressure off of them. Put as much pressure on them as you can, Rusty. Go ahead. Yeah, look. All it's doing is what I would want it to do, which is to hold his shoulders down to the mat, put his back flat on the mat. But as you can see, even though Joel has gotten as much pressure as he can from this BJJ Giant, you can tell that he's still just fine. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next position. We're going to go knee cut into mount for right now. All right, so if you want to go into reverse scarf and go into mount, go ahead and do that. So reverse scarf, step over, boom. All right, so him just sitting straight up, right? The difference here, if you're a larger person, the difference for the smaller person is that they're going to have both sides of their hips completely glued to the mat, and that's going to be a new sensation for them. And you're going to find the guy on the bottom, if you're a larger individual, what you might find is that they're going to stop moving, all right? Get it out of your head that you are cheating. Get it out of your head that you are hurting them too much and that you need to give them the space. No. As you can see, Joel, give him a thumbs up. Joel's fine, okay? And so this part, keep the pressure down. Go up to a high mount. Right there. He's sitting on his diaphragm right now. It's not comfortable. Joel doesn't like it. But is he hurt? No. Is he gonna have to go to the hospital later? Is he gonna have broken ribs? No. Okay? Go back down to a low mount. And this one right here, this one sucks. Superman, with grapevine. All right. Again, the worst thing is he doesn't want to hold that. This actually is going to be painful for you on top if you're a large individual. You have a lot of weight in the center. You have a larger gut. That, when you start to compress it, presses into your diaphragm. So things like this is actually not good for Rusty or Joel. But Joel, as you can see, he's fine, right? He's not, he's uncomfortable, but he is not going to get hurt, okay? Let's go to the nitty gritty. Actually, no, let's do one more. Let's do technical mount from here. So roll over. All right, so right here, he's got to put his weight on him, and now he's going to want to, all right, so he's going to want to lean towards Joel's hip in order to slide his leg around to get into the position for an arm bar. Look, that's a lot of weight. But Joel is just fine, right? He's not getting hurt. This is not going to hurt your partner, all right? So, let's go back with Joel on his back. With the worst position. The worst position.
Come this way.
So, the worst position I can think of, the one that really is actually worse than mount, is knee on belly. So, from this position... usually when you get into it from mount, so go back into side control. Right? From here, slides his inside knee up onto his boom, bang. Now, as he sits up, put it up there. And we haven't worked a lot, but on this with Rusty just yet. Extend this leg out if you can. Really, like straight up there. Yeah. All right, that's knee on belly. Now, he can make it a little bit stronger if he has his knee all the way up into his midsection right there. Even that, right? Yeah, it's uncomfortable. He's not breaking. All right, the human body is very resilient. It's able to take a lot. I mean, that's my whole point is as long as you're not jabbing in, like putting pressure and force in to be nasty, which if you were trying to do that, you wouldn't care about hurting him anyway. So don't do that. But as you can see, all of these are specific types. Joel we could have drilled from there. We could do. I've had Joel in this position 5, 6, 7 times in an hour, and it doesn't hurt him. It's uncomfortable, but this is jiu-jitsu. So you're gonna have to edit a lot of this one.
That's good.
All right, so. Boom. Can you think of another nasty thing that you're worried about?
It doesn't hurt them, but north-south is
Oh, yeah. Okay.
a thing.
All right. Scoot down this way a little bit. There you go. This one does not hurt people as much, but if this might upset people a lot more. It's going to upset you a lot more. You're going to upset your partner a lot more if you're a larger guy and you do this versus if you're a smaller guy. And there are a couple of reasons for that. We'll show you in a second. So one of the things, but I definitely think you should be using this maneuver. If you're a larger guy, you're going to have a lot of holes in your game because you're not going to be able to do things like, I don't know, a sit-up. But you can do this, and this is going to help you. It's north-south position. Right? So he's got him in scarf hold, and then he's just going to take a big step over and get into north-south. Right? Now, what happens here is because you're so wide, right, versus me, he's got so much more pressure. He's got a harder time breathing. You're actually going to get taps from here just because your chest itself is going to flatten out on top of their face. They're going to have a hard time breathing. Versus if you were a smaller guy, they could get a lot more space in there. So this ends up becoming this isn't going to hurt people, but guys who aren't really good or they get a little claustrophobic, this is where you're going to get a lot of people upset with you. You may want to have a talk with them because you're not going to want to do this on a guy who's got a bad attitude or a soft ego or who's claustrophobic versus, guys who've been around the block a couple times, they're not going to tap from this as much. But this is by far the one that gets people upset the most, I think, that I've come in contact with. All right, so, Joel, thank you, sir.